Ranking Democrat on the House Select Committee on Intelligence now says that the threat that shut down Los Angeles was a hoax. You heard the mayor's not ready to sign off on that per se. That ranking Democrat is Adam Schiff. He also happens to represent one of the congressional districts in the LA metro area. Congressman, why? What makes you? What piece of evidence do you have to guarantee that this is a hoax, or know definitively that this is a hoax?
Well, I don't know that we're prepared to say definitively, but that's the preliminary assessment, I think, of the intelligence community, that this certainly now appears to have been a hoax. And I think what they're evaluating is not only the text of the message, but also the fact it was sent to two districts on separate parts of the country, where the threat came from. They compared, I'm sure, to the kind of threat we have seen in the past from terror organizations. So that is, I think, the preliminary assessment. We'll know more, and indeed we'll, I think, get to the bottom of where exactly this came from. But it certainly appears that it was designed to either disrupt or just create some chaos among these school districts.
You know, the NYPD is known to having a very expansive counterterrorism division, works very closely with the FBI. I know that the same sort of setup exists with the LAPD. Is it? Are you looking at this today and wondering, does the LAPD need more resources? Does the LAPD need better contact with federal officials? Or do you not view that as the issue today?
I'm not sure that that's the issue. You know, I think there are a few things that went into the differing decisions. One of the key ones may have been, as the mayor was pointing out, that New York had the advantage of knowing about L.A. perhaps before L.A. knew about New York. That's a pretty critical factor. But also you have different experiences in both cities. New York, for better or worse, has had to deal with more threats than probably any other city in America. They have had a great deal with this, and they have to be willing to make some very difficult calls, as indeed all cities do. But then you add to the mix, Chuck, that we just went through a really traumatic attack in Southern California, which has really heightened sensitivities in our region. So I don't think we should rush to be critical of Los Angeles for reaching a different conclusion, even though we ultimately may come to the final conclusion that this was a hoax. But I will say this, too, which I think ought to be a caution to all of us, and that is, if this was not ISIS, it was not a terror organization, they're nonetheless watching. And if they come to the conclusion that they can literally mail it in, call it in, and disrupt large cities, they're going to take advantage of that.
Do you feel like today was a form of, a successful terrorist attack in that fear triumphed? There was no bloodshed, but part of a city got shut down today.
You know, I don't know that I would say fear triumph. It certainly was enormously disruptive to a major city, and I don't know that, again, that was any kind of a link to any terror organization testing our defenses. But nonetheless, they will learn from this, even if they had no hand in it. Right. And that means that we have to learn in kind as well. We can't disrupt major cities for every threat that comes in. At the same time, there's not going to be a bright line here. Ultimately, decision makers are going to have to make a judgment based on the best information they have. And I think what we can offer, and again, the mayor alluded to this, is the key role for the intelligence community and federal law enforcement here is to be the conduit for sharing of information between localities so that they can all benefit from each other's insights.
He definitely seemed to hint that there was something more that could have been done now in hindsight. Anyway, Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Chuck.
Appreciate it.